All right, folks, so an AI-generated cover of Beyonce's latest hit, Cuff It, featuring Rihanna's vocals, is going viral. But lawyers say that such covers of popular songs could open up new legal issues for the music industry. Here now to discuss this is entertainment lawyer and partner of Dunn Cox, Jonathan Morgan. Jonathan, welcome to Smile Jamaica.
Thank you so much.
Hope all is well. This just jumping all over the place, this AI, artificial intelligence stuff. Is this the first time we are hearing about anyone doing something like what we're talking about this morning?
I don't think it's the first time at all, but what we've seen recently, it's become a lot more prevalent, that the capacity of this technology to imitate artists and musicians has become to the level that it's almost indistinguishable from reality.
And that's different from someone doing a cover?
Oh, definitely. People doing covers are not attempting to imitate in a manner that you can't distinguish them. But the AI technologies being used now are being used in that way, where you cannot tell it apart from the real artist or the real musician.
Right. Now, are there laws around this type of,
Well, you know that it's a relatively new area.
Right.
And it's developing so rapidly that the law is yet to catch up. Mm-hmm. So at the moment, there is no law specifically designed to target this type of activity. But we do have existing laws that can serve to protect certain interests in relation to this voice manipulation.
So in this particular instance, with Beyonce's Cuff It, with Rihanna's vocals being added to it, what laws could protect the artists and the writers, producers, etc.?
Yes, well, I would say the most prevalent law that could protect artists in a situation like this is the IP law. That involves copyright protections.
And IP means intellectual property, right?
That's right, yes. And that should protect, especially in relation to copyright, any existing work that is duplicated without the consent of the owner. But there are some other laws as well. We know that the artificial intelligence technology has developed in a way that it can create new music, and it can create things that are not existing works owned by an artist or musician. And in the context of new creations by artificial intelligence using the voice of an existing artist, you'd have to turn to laws like passing off. Laws in relation to data protection could also have a role to play in protecting artists and musicians in this area.
Yeah. I'm Rihanna's manager, and Beyonce reaches out and says, no, you did something wrong. And I said, well, there is no law that told me that I couldn't do it. And you would say what?
Well, very directly, the laws of copyright indicate that any existing work is protected from its duplication or reproduction without the consent of the copyright holder. And copyrights attach automatically. So the immediate response would be, Mr. Manager, is certainly your use of this information was unauthorized, and we can bring a copyright infringement action against you for stealing the copyrighted material of our artist. We can also say that using her image and her likeness without her consent has the effect of damaging her reputation. We can also bring a passing off action against you for it. If this happened in Jamaica, you could say it also violates the data protection laws, because there is a standard that requires individuals to give consent if any information that can be used to identify them is being taken and distributed by another.
Yeah, I'm suggesting here that wouldn't Rihanna know, or her management team, or her lawyer know all of what you just said?
Quite presumably, yes. Perhaps they determined that it was a risk they were willing to take. It's quite possible that they thought the benefit they could accrue from it exceeded the potential downside. We can't seek to identify the motives of individuals who take action to approve.
And I'm actually not suggesting that it's her people who did it. I'm not suggesting that. But
and that is one of the greater concerns with the development of this technology, that the use of it can become anonymous. That we can have things released, especially in the audio space, not without visual likeness being associated. No music videos, just audio tracks being duplicated in the voice of professional artists in such a way that it prevents anyone from identifying who the perpetrator is.
Okay. Which is my next question. Because I can literally go on my phone right now, or better yet, use like a desktop, laptop, so on, to instruct one of these AI generators to create something which sounds like any particular artist, if I use a VPN, etc., you can't find me, but I get it released anyway. So what's the route thereafter in terms of some kind of legal recourse? Because if I remain unknown and this is shared and it, in this particular instance, goes viral, then what next?
First, I have to say, Garth, you seem to know a lot about this anonymous reproduction using VPNs and things I didn't even mention.
I read a lot.
Indeed, but that is a real concern that I can candidly say the law has not yet discovered a solution for. It's one of the issues that our recording artists, our musicians need to be mindful of.
Right.
If the perpetrator cannot be identified, there's very little that can be done. What I would recommend, especially for our local artists and musicians, is that they take preemptive measures to firm up their intellectual property. Right. And that could involve the voluntary registration of their copyright works. For example, you go to the Jamaica Intellectual Property Office and you seek to voluntarily provide copies of all of your professional works and have them copyrighted. You can also trademark any images, logos, any catchphrases, or any song lyrics that are unique to you. You can have trademark protection attached to that information. And that adds some level of protection so that if someone duplicates or reproduces a famous voice or duplicates your material, you have a database where you can produce evidence that it is yours and seek to have it removed from platforms or so on.
What about the companies who create these AI generators? So like, I'm trying to remember the name of the company that was ChatGPT, but either way, in that particular instance, any one of these AI generators, those companies, how culpable are they? Because I went online, I used your AI generator to create this work, you know, in the likeness or an image or, you know, replicating the vocals of any particular artist. What about their level of responsibility?
Right.
Can they be held responsible? Is the law trending in that way?
Well, ChatGPT was created by OpenAI. And the company that created it, in theory, simply developed software. They did not break the law themselves. So to find culpability on the entity that created software would be difficult, since the culpability requires the actor to have the intent to do something criminal. By creating the software, they didn't do anything criminal. It is the person who used it.
Right.
So there are some weaknesses in relation.
Final question, and the younger creatives seem to know what's going on, but you know, we speak to the long-time artists, and boy, we don't get no money for this, and we don't get no money for that. How can entertainers find out? Where can they find out what is expected of them? How to, as you just said, cover their work and ensure
protect
that
themselves.
Yeah,
definitely. Well, there are two resources that are available. The first, the JIPO office, the Jamaica Intellectual Property Office, located right off of Trafalgar Road. They have an excellent table of resources that artists and musicians can go in, sit and meet with our JIPO officer and get information about how they can be protected. The second, they can meet with an attorney who specializes in this area, an attorney who focuses on entertainment law and on entertainment protections. They can advise them as to what are their rights and seek to enforce those rights if they are breached or infringed.
Yeah, I did say final question. What can Beyonce do about this?
I'm sure she is adequately advised, but certainly her team can set up a legal action if they take the view that a cause of action has arisen and seek to enforce it against the perpetrators. Of course, the perpetrators will need to be identified, as Garth indicated.
Yeah. Thanks for coming in. Very well explained. Sit with us for a while. Entertainment lawyer and partner of Duncox, Mr. Jonathan Morgan.
Stick around. We'll be talking about a few interesting developments in badminton when we come back.